Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful, beautiful individual. Today, I would like to speak about growth, understanding, and comprehension comes from the inwards and not outwards anymore. Of course, when you do use your senses to look outwards, there are a whole plethora of things to truly study, but in the end it is still variations of either mineral, plant, animal, or human. Now, if we are to truly understand the spiritual, truly understand, well, what we are as humans, since we will not find any answer out there, we will have to go inwards, or to the spiritual realms. To be able to connect to the spiritual realms, one needs to have the longing, the interests, and also the consistent dedication to practice. And also knowing, having faith that it is as real as the rocks can touch, smell, and observe. It is all about how much you can come to see these things clearly and objectively, and also at the same time concretely, where you do have a sense of trust first and foremost, and not constantly being bogged down by skepticism or unsurety or in general ignorance. Because if we just let it be, we will have an involution. That means things will become decadent, things will degrade. But by actively and consciously, with your freedom, using your living enlivened consciousness and spirit to work upon your inner self, is where you have constructive and healing and redeeming effects on your inner being. We cannot anymore walk around passively and letting things happen to us. But at the same time, we cannot force things either. You see here, that is the perfect balance again. It always is in the middle. The middle is always the balance. To not be too much of either or the other. We are both in balance. That is the human being. And that is the joy of it too. Because you can get to see the whole world in a whole, WHOLE way, which also is where the word is holy comes from, whole. So, inward striving, that means inwardness even when socializing, inwardness when thinking, feeling, and willing. You are conscious inwardly with your spirit, letting spirit guide you from day to day, moment to moment, week to week, year to year, but at the same time holding steady and strong to morals, good, beauty, and inclusion, warmth. That is a freedom of choice. We can let ourselves be tempted to become bitter, but you allow yourself to become bitter. It is not life's fault. Everyone has experienced this same life, but everyone is seeing it differently. And that also includes people see it as a blessing in disguise of all of these struggles. That means you can do that too. It is fully possible. Of course, it is fully possible to see life as a living hell, a living shithole, which it kind of also is. But we are meant to overcome that so we construct, heal this world. You see, the physical will fall away, but when everything is desolate and dead in the physical, we are spiritual. We are in a different form. And those that wanted to keep on being material will follow along with the material. You see where I'm coming from here? The materialism, the crystallized physicality here will fall away like dross, like the earth corpse. It's a macro version of our micro death. So when we die, we lay aside our physical, etheric, and astral body until we come back again. It is the same with the whole earth when the time when the Earth times is complete and we are starting the Jupiter stage. So inward striving, inward mastery, holding ourselves in the center, in our heart, but using our mind, using our thinking in a more pure and active and ennobled way with the heart, doing actions with the heart, with emotions, but not any emotions, emotions of love, compassion, emotions of understanding, comprehension. You will ooze and emanate that when you reach stages like that. And you do not need to prove anything to anyone. Then you have reached certain stages in your development. But even though you have reached a certain stage, oh, the stages, eternal stages. You see, perfection can be perfected even more. And that is why the Christ also is evolving with us in the spiritual world. Christianity is not like it was 2000 years ago. It has become more ennobled in its pure form, not in its dogmatic, not in its abstract, not in its pure book form, you see, but truly in its living, active, moral emanation. That is Christianity. That is the Christ principle, the Christ impulse. Not a book, not 2000 years ago. Something you connect to now, something you are developing now in freedom, free will. You have a freedom to cultivate morality, goodness, truth, honesty, or deny it and become a scoundrel and a rascal. That is the choice we have. You can choose to be something in between and be lukewarm too. Or you can choose even the worst. You can consciously become evil, literally enjoying inflicting pain and suffering on others. That is, well, I wouldn't wish that on even the worst enemy. I wouldn't wish them to do that. You understand that is the blackest of black magic, and you don't want to go that way. Or maybe you do. Who am I to judge? Well, God will judge, but you get my drift here. It is about holding to the moral and the good. Despite, even if everyone else did not do it, at least you do it. Be a good example. Be something that others can follow along on an example. Be inspired by. So others can inspire others. So others can follow them again. So we snowball effect and create a huge domino development here on this planet. This of course takes lifetimes. And we should not focus too much on what happens after death. You know what you should focus on? Where did you come from before birth? That is when you are starting to understand karma and why you are struggling with certain things and are good at other things, have certain dispositions and interests, have certain dislikes, meeting people that kicks you in the ass, and that you by accident kicks them in the ass. You understand that you have to know where you came from to understand where we are going. And that, I think I will leave you with today. A little shorter video today, because I'm going to have a weekend break and recuperate as we always do, enjoying the peak of the week. Also on Sunday, the death of the week, until a rebirth of a new week. So, thank you so much for listening to me today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Micah, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, Seraphim, Cherubim, Thrones, Kyriadetes, Dynamis, Exousiae, Archai, Archangels and Angels, and even that plane out there, bless, protect, guide and love you on your amazing, individual, beautiful path. And may you find out about spirit. And not just cut it out anymore and be dualistic, but be body, soul, spirit. And not only body and soul. Spirit is you, active in the world, conscious in the world. Behind your senses, behind your thoughts, behind your feelings, behind your will. You, the spirit. You, the ego. You, the human being. You, the individual. You, the unique one. You, the beautiful. Thank you so much. Bless you, and goodbye. See you on Monday.